Hey, welcome back. It's the Dirty South podcast. We are back. Took a week off due to some illnesses and some vacations and some
It
work
was my
and
fault.
and
It
all
wasn't
that.
me,
But
man. It
It
wasn't
was
me.
all my fault.
we are back with Grant Parsons from Cabo Wrestling, Jason SE Wrestle, and yours truly, Ward Wrestling. Excited to be back, and I knew that he would have to be Grant would have to be dead not to do this week because this is his favorite part of the year. I
Close to
believe he
death,
loves
but yes.
I believe he loves state duels more than he likes state IBT.
I
And
Friday might be my favorite day of the wrestling season.
yes,
Really?
the
12
energy in
region
that room.
finals, the place is full.
Yeah,
I
it
wish
is.
everybody was kept around for constellations and all that, so there'd be that kind of level of people there on Saturday night. But I know everybody goes their separate ways. But Friday, and you get around halfway through the two A's on Friday, and you still got the one A's hanging around to watch, and you got the three A's showing up, and you got the two A's fully going. That place is as electric as any place in wrestling in Florida ever is.
Especially when on the center mat you've got Tampa Jesuit and Lake Gibson
And like
going
Gibson,
at
like
it. It just
I mean, you're
makes
gonna have good ones.
everything.
You're gonna have Pace Clay. You're gonna have Braden River and Charlotte and Jensen Beach and Somerset. And while I I've got picks and all those, and I don't, they're not as close as Jesuit and Gibson, but those are going to have some great matches in it. Also, it is going to be around 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and at Kissimmee Osceola is the best moment of the wrestling season as far as electricity.
Yes.
Well, and I'll tell you, so up in Georgia, we used to all get together like Florida does. So it's like every state is taking something away from me that
Yes.
like makes me sad. Um, so the what's taken away from me was never actually added in Florida, and that is it. I would love for this weekend the top eight to be seeded because then Saturday night in that finals, you just have just an unbelievable
Yes.
situation. Georgia does seed. It is so awesome, and I'll tell you what, when they were all together, like Florida is all together, it's it is just so wild because people who love wrestling, regardless if it's your team or not your team, are so into it. And
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a breakdown of the 5A situation in the state of Georgia this past weekend because I was watching it on Flow and I wish I'd been there, but you can't go to every one. I mean, there's six
Right.
all over the state. And that is so we know that bonus points matter, right? And what happened was South Effingham and Creekview are coming down to the last five matches, and Creekview is behind by 29 points. 29 points. They need a pin in every single one.
Wow.
So they get pins in four of them. And then we get to the fifth and final match. And it's not even that they need a pin to win and that explosion of things that are going to happen, right? The thing that actually makes this super interesting is that the kid from Creekview who's winning is winning 15-2. So he takes the kid to the back to his back,
And if
and
that's it,
if the other kid gets off his back, Creekview will lose on criteria because they'll get 5 points.
the
It will be a
attack.
tie
Yep.
score. And next thing you know, the tiebreaker is going against them. So you have this moment where this kid is trying to get off his back and then he can't get off his back and he's going back and forth. It's like one of those like movie kind of moments where is he going to get off his
The
back? Is he
music's
not going to get off
playing,
his
it's
back?
slowing down.
Yeah. And the Creekview kid ends up getting the pin and getting the win, and they came all the way back and won by a point on this pin. But the fact that he could have gotten off his back, it would have been such a deflating thing for Creekview. I mean, to go from that close to then not
Yes.
happening, even with a win. So that's what you're gonna see this weekend, man. It's gonna be it. That is why duels are the absolute best,
Yes.
the best.
Yeah, I
And
mean, looking at when you break down like these lineups, easier now that you sent me what you sent me, Brent, because I couldn't find a lot of them. And but when you match them up, there's matchups that's like 1 versus 2, 5 versus 6, 7 versus 9, 15,
Yep.
14, where going through a duel, if there's a 2 that knocks off a 1, if there's a 7 that knocks off a 6, that changes the whole
It
match right
can.
there.
It can.
But
Absolutely.
I will tell you also, as you look at this, a lot of those matches won't happen because everybody's moving around. I've had one coach already ask me if I had any good coin flips for him. Another one he's trying to figure out like a 1 pound here, 1 pound there. So a lot of those 1 and 2s maybe not happen because everyone's trying to get everything moving around, which is fun for me because we know what could happen,
Right.
and then we'll see if those things actually do happen. Some you can't pass up; they have to happen. But you'll see a lot of movement, and you'll see
Yeah, like,
guys that I have listed at a weight that will not wrestle at that weight just for this weekend, and just
yeah.
because
When I
that's the
was looking
plan.
down that list of Tampa and Lake Gibson, I'm looking at what's on chalk on your matchup on your lineup
Yeah,
here, but I'm thinking, man, do they move KJ here to this one? Do they move
it's going to be so crazy.
Kakazakasatan to Kaspiki Wiki in to here? Do
Yeah.
they move this? Like, there's
Well,
so much going on in that.
and the other thing to keep in mind is that and this happened up in Georgia between Columbus and Rockmart, and that is where the duel starts and
Hmm.
who has to present first.
And who wins the coin
Because I'll tell
coin
you right
toss?
now, Columbus was the better team as far as a section of their lineup. They never got to them.
Yeah,
Rockmart put up so many points in 6 matches, and then even if you win the next matches, but you only get 3 instead of giving 6, the match can be over. The
yeah,
duel can be over, and not wrestle a lot final 5 matches because you're going to win by 1. So where that duel
yeah.
begins, so important, and
And
that's
and
why
I
I'm
know
a big advocate
everything.
of getting points on the board. But
Yes. e- Everything is match the match, and you can argue whether there's momentum or not. But I say there is momentum,
yeah,
and even if you have the best 7 final weights, if you get destroyed those first 7 weights, it's even harder to get those other 7 rolling, and then the other team starts believing, and they see a big score. Yeah, it's so much fun.
it's so wild. It's so wild. So we're gonna spend our time um talking about each of these matchups. We ahead of time did not discuss whether we are going to pick the winners. Are we doing that?
I mean, I'm picking them on my website, so
All right, so
it's not.
we're gonna pick them. Dan, are you prepared to pick?
It's very difficult for me. I think 1A and 3A. I mean, I think a squirrel could probably throw a nut and pick those.
Dan, you're
But
not answering the
You're
question.
not
Are you
answering the
gonna pick or
question.
are you not gonna pick? It's okay if you choose not to pick. You just gotta say,
I don't know. Maybe not.
"Oh my god, you can't. You're just killing me." All right.
uh,
Just real quick, I just want to go ahead and give a shout out before we get into this. Alabama has their Final Four this weekend up in Birmingham. It's great. Georgia girls have their state duels this weekend over in Georgia, up in Lumpkin County, I believe. And then Georgia boys, Camden just won their 12th straight. No surprise there. I talked about Creekview. Woodland beat Cass. These are all teams that we see at the knockout a lot. Social Circle did. They rolled to a state title. Rockmart won a title, and Jefferson, who took second at the knockout, they rolled to their title. So um, that is a little quick recap of what we saw last weekend. For me, I was busy running around trying to keep track of all that information, but
yeah,
I'm now zoned
ready.
in for Florida.
Well, and we appreciate you putting on your PhD hat to be able to talk about the other states, since
Yes,
we
since
Can
we
you
are
guess which
do not.
incapable.
finger I'm thinking, Daniel?
Since since we are not the doctor here and we don't know shit about the other states, but we're happy for
Why
you
don't
to jump in and
Daniel? Why don't we begin with you in 1A? All right.
1A.
Yeah. And let's talk Wakulla, Baker County.
I think it's a very, very awesome and wonderful and amazing thing that Baker County did to go on a run, to make it here, to make it to Friday, to get to experience the state duels. I just don't think they have enough to knock off Wakula. Wakula has a ranked wrestler at every weight but heavyweight. A lot of them are up high and they've been wrestling tough. In my opinion, just Wakula's the better team.
Yeah.
Second trip here for Baker County, and to give them a little bit of props, they were sick when I was sick, and between district duels and regions, they were able to get people healthy enough to wrestle. And I actually had it wrong because I tried to follow on that new stupid flow site. And I did the math, and it came out that they had lost their region semifinal by a point because the stupid flow site didn't have that there had been an unsportsmanlike penalty on the other team in it. So it actually came down to a tiebreaker, and they actually got here on an unsportsmanlike tiebreaker criteria win. So I mean, just gutsy performance by Baker County to get here. Wakulla has developed into, I think, maybe the third best team here, maybe fourth. They're loaded at every weight class. They're excited to be here this weekend and show what they're doing there. Nate Lekowski, who took over the program there and really wanted to focus on building it up. This is a team that's been in the finals here in the state duels. They were in the first one ever. But this is a different kind of makeup of a team, and I think the depth of it is going to be something to watch. And so I don't think the first one is that intriguing of a match. I'm hoping we see Troy Thaxton and Taz Kinghorn wrestle because I have them 9 and 10. And I'm curious to see a couple of other guys from Baker County who are right on the edge of really doing something special. Kristen Chansey, Sebastian Overland, Robbie Driggers. These are guys that are right on the edge of my rankings, and I want to see how they perform here.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, Wakulla is, they've gone everywhere. They went down to Bobley Stanley duels.
Where they beat Cardinal Gibbons.
Yeah, they put together quite a good squad. Just to add a little more piece of information, so I count wins from the moment you get through the district level, and this is their 8th appearance in the state duels, at least from that point forward.
From that point on,
19 and 7 all time. So this is a team that knows how to win, and they've been here. And I'll tell you what, they're tough, and I definitely have them moving on to the Final Four as well.
All-time region final record is 3-2.
Yeah. All right, so let's move down to Matter Lakes and True North. Brant, why don't we start down with you?
Yeah, I mean this is even more so of
David and Goliath.
that is not a close match on paper. And listen, Matter Lakes is here to repeat, and this is the match that'll get them started. True North, fantastic story, coming out of 1A16, winning a district title, and then going through and really, if you look at their roster, they've got basically one person at every weight. It's not a deep team. I've talked to them. They know that this is the task is at hand to win is not great, but they're using this as a barometer for where some of their guys are. So they're going to treat some of these as very important individual matches also, to test their guys against one of the best teams in the state and some of the best wrestlers in the state. So there'll be matches in here that I'm really looking forward to watching, and I know like which ones they're looking forward to. But this is kind of a stepping stone to the weekend for Matter Lakes.
Yeah, so True North it's their first appearance beyond districts. I think they might be the only team in the building that's 2-0 in their all-time record, because this is their first appearance and they're here.
Actually,
is somebody else 2-0 too?
Slam Tampa.
Oh yeah, they might
be
be
their
2-0
first
as well.
year
That's
as a program. So,
but you're absolutely right. Matter Lakes. I mean, look, this is a great program. I'm super excited. Daniel, this was a pick of yours, I think, once upon a time.
I did think that True North was better than what we had listed at the previews. I thought that they were young and building something there and could could make a little run. And I guess I was right at something because I very rarely am.
And
But
blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again.
yeah, good guess on my part. But I've been around the team. I do their media days, so I've been down there twice, um, and they've got a good little group, a tight knit group, and kids that love each other, have wrestled for each other, and obviously it shows, right? With
Yeah.
that being said, I think they know that Mater Lakes is just a monster, and it's going to be tough for them to put together something to be able to win that match. But to get an opportunity to go up against the best and see where you line up against the best, and they've got some kids on that team, Parker Young, Luke, the two Lukes, one Lucas, Andy Diaz, Miguel Marty, that are in the Cabra top 25. They're tough kids that had some big wins this year. And I'm sure those kids want to see how they match up against the best. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think we all know Mater Lakes moves on here, but what a great run for True North.
So I think that we moved to the bottom side of the bracket in that first round match. We're actually looking at Hernando versus Cocoa Beach, and we're talking about an established program. Hernando, I think they've been to every single
Every
state
single region
duels.
final. They've been in it.
Yeah,
They join, I think Charlotte and South Dade are the two others that have been in every region final.
right, right. And yet, we have them against Cocoa Beach, who once upon a time, I think Brant penciled them in as number one in the duels. And rightfully so. Honestly, top to bottom, Cocoa Beach is extremely tough. There's potential six, ranked matchups between these two teams. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say, obviously based upon unranked versus, I mean, so let's say out of those six, even they just split, it's 3-3. The rest of the lineup leans to Cocoa Beach, and
Yes.
that's why they've got to be the favorite here.
I mean, they are. Hernando, credit to Hernando. They had very senior laden team last year, and I believe wrestled really well. Um, I didn't have them picked when the season began. I don't think to be back here, and they found some guys. They've got youth that has maybe showed up a year early. But Cocoa Beach is built um, for the big run this year.
Yeah, they are.
They've got a Cocoa Beach have an interesting, as we look at the bracket, they're on the same side as St. John Newman. But that means if Cocoa Beach is the second best team, as I've said, that should make a Mater Lakes. We get the top two teams in 1A in the final. So we'll see
Assuming
how
it goes to the way we think it
it's
is.
just if it goes chalk and like I said, they'll have an interesting matchup with St. John Newman. There's one guy who may be back for Cocoa Beach. If he's back, he's been cleared, I think. That'll certainly help. They're not as tough at the top because they don't have the heavyweight we thought they'd have this year.
Yeah,
But they're still a very deep team, and they're a team. And there's only a few I think that can really do this here, but they can move so many guys around,
yeah.
and you'll see their lineup will be a little different for probably for each match that they're in. I'm sure they'll find some different spots to move guys around because they've got depth and they've got um, maneuverability in their lineup.
Yeah, yeah, that flexibility is huge. Daniel, let's jump down to last year's darlings to St. John Newman. They came in as a brand new program, made a run all the way to the finals. They get a debutante in themselves, like this weekend as well in Slam Tampa. Um, on paper, St. John Newman is obviously. I mean, we know the names that are throughout the lineup of St. John Newman. Tell me a little bit about what you see.
I see a debutante in Slam.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't like that?
It was a beautiful word. I love the vocabulary that was just used there. It was tremendous. So the debutante. Yes, I think that it is an excellent run for Slam Tampa being their first year. They do have some, obviously, a few big guns there with Noah Leota and Wilson and Iorio. Um, and Rupe, but you look up and down this lineup of St. John Newman, and I know we've been talking about Cocoa Beach and we've been talking about Mater Lakes, but quietly, these guys are kind of coming along here, and one thing that Ison knows how to do, he knows how to win these duels.
Yeah,
We
he
saw
does.
him
Yeah, he
upset
does.
South Dade when he was at Palmetto Ridge, and uh, he coaches here well. He's going to get past Slam Tampa. I think we know that, and we're going to see some fireworks with them in Cocoa Beach. It's going to
Give
be
his
fun.
Palmetto Ridge team credit. I would not call that an upset. That was a great team that wrestled really well.
Yes, but according to history,
Yeah, I'm with
they
you.
are. Yeah, according to history, they
All
are the
right, so
only
let's
team
They're the
before
only
to do
3A
that.
team to win one that isn't South End.
before we move on to the other classes, let's go ahead and put a bow on what we look like, well, what it looks like in the semis and in the finals. And Brand, we'll start with you, and then we'll kind of go around and kind of just talk a little bit about it.
I mean, it's if it goes as I suspect that it will, and I feel this is the one that has the most chalk in the first round, uh, based
Yeah,
on like my team rankings. But Wakulla, Matter Lakes, Matter Lakes has just that middle punchers, just bam bam, just straight up state champ, state runner up, state champ. I mean, it's really tough to get through that. Where it starts has a big, as we talked about, where these weights will start. And then on the other end, you have Cocoa Beach and St. John Newman, which on paper, it seems that maybe there's a couple extra holes in St. John Newman, but as you guys have pointed out, they know how to be coached up for this, and they did it last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. Whoever wins that one, then we get to watch them against Matter Lakes in the final on Saturday afternoon.
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I think we all believe that Mater Lakes is the best team. Um, there are some guys on Wakulla that could upset the apple cart. I don't know if they don't have enough guy. I don't think enough to win the whole
Yeah, I
thing,
think
but
I think that's the
they've
key,
got
right?
they've got some guys that if they pull off a couple upsets here, they could make it close.
You need to pull off an upset or two, and as you guys know, and we talk about it all the time, it's how you lose.
Yep.
And some of those guys that are ranked 5 to 10 going against state champs, they just need to stay off their back.
I mean, I watched an
To have a
amazing
chance.
match with at the Braves. I watched a great match with Messina and Harvey.
Yeah.
That was
Mhm.
unbelievable. This one went to Messina, but it could have went either way. I mean, they wrestled each other really, really tough, and um,
It comes down to how you lose
so
or how
yes,
you
So
win.
I
who
think we all believe
who is in
Mater
the
Lake.
finals?
I'm going with Cocoa Beach and Matter Lakes. I'm going with my rankings. So
Who's in the finals for you, Daniel?
Mater Lakes, I think for sure on the left side there, or up top, and then man, it's tough. Those two teams are so good. I'm going to take Coco Newman.
I knew he couldn't do it. I knew it. I knew it.
now he's got me singing Thunderclap Newton in my head.
Oh, we got Newton in the head. Um, wow.
Wow is right. Okay. I think it's probably Cocoa Beach, but I will say I would not be surprised at
Yeah.
all if it's St. John
Yes.
Newman.
I agree with you. I think on
I think
paper we believe Cocoa
I
Beach
think that'll
should
be a
be there,
great duel.
And I would
but
love to see Wakulla go against
it wouldn't
whoever lost
surprise me.
that semifinal, and I'd love to see him wrestle out for third.
Yeah, and
But I know it won't happen.
that is a whole other topic that we do not have time for.
No,
But
but
the fact that Florida does not
we
at
could.
least do the third or fourth place match, I do not understand. But anyway, all right. We are going to pick the champions at
Well,
the
you
end.
did. Wait. Oh, so you did pick. You picked.
I did. I picked
Okay.
Cocoa Beach and Matter Lakes in the
Yes.
final. All right, moving to 2A, and I'll tell you what. 2A is, man, if you are, don't be late. Don't be late for the first round, for the Elite Eight round of 2A. It is going to be, I mean, it could be the state finals in multiple duels. I mean, they are just so good throughout. Brant, let's start with Pace and Clay.
By the way, just to rewind this a bit, if you both are taking Cocoa and Mater Lakes, then I will just make it fun, and I'll go with St. John Newman
See,
and
he
Mater
does this
Lakes.
all the time. Do you see that? Okay.
So he's taking St. John Newman and Wakulla. That's what he said, right?
That's what he said.
Okay.
Pace and Clay.
Pace is a mystery to me, and I'll tell you why. And because Reggie still does stuff on paper.
Stone tablets.
I had a Pace parent reach out to me last night, and they were like, "Listen, I love what you do. I love your site. I know it takes a lot of work, but why is my son ranked here when he beat these two wrestlers in the region duels and district duels?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you, because I wasn't told." So who knows? This Pace team might be even better than I know that they are. They blanked Lincoln. I know Lincoln wasn't a full roster, but they had at least 7 starters there. They blanked them in the region quarterfinals. They beat Middleburg. This Pace team is loaded and it is deep. And even if there's a few guys that aren't ranked as high as maybe they should be, because I don't know about them yet, we're gonna learn about them this weekend. And Clay is back. Clay is another team that's been here a ton of times.
Yeah,
and
every trip, I think.
they might be every trip too, to match the other ones I listed earlier.
Oh, hang on. Every trip in the state duels from where I count, but no, they've missed
not every region
2
final.
from
Yeah.
where the region finals.
So and listen, this I talked a little bit to Coach Reap this morning, and it's not a secret. Pace is going to come into this one. They're better at the bottom 7 weights. Clay comes in, they may be a little better at the upper 7.
Yep.
Where it starts and how each side manages through some of their lower parts is going to be the difference in this one. I think Clay, if Clay steals 1 or 2 in the bottom 7, then I think you things can go on because Clay is better at the upper 7. I don't know that they can steal any from Pace. I'm gonna pick Pace in this, but I think it could be closer. But then, if I truly don't know about Pace like I do, Pace could run away with this.
Am I reading this correctly, or are you saying it backwards? Because I'm reading the matchup here, and it looks like Pace has the better top 7, and Clay has the better bottom 7.
Bottom 7 is your lower is 106 to 144.
Oh, I see.
Top is your upper weights, right? Is that how?
Oh, yes,
is that how you would
that's
see
how
it too, Jason? Like when you say
I was looking at
top weights, upper weights.
I was looking at
the list.
I was looking
but
at
the upper weight Clay's better at the upper weights for anyone that didn't understand what I'm saying, and Pace is really hammers at the lower weights.
Well, and to be
I was
fair,
looking at the top and the bottom of the ranking.
To be fair, honestly, that is true, but the difference between many of those individuals is not very much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a good example. At 120, Baxter's number 2 from Pace. Mitz, at least when I looked at your thing, was number 17 for Clay. Yeah. If Mitz can go out there, and even if he doesn't get a win, if he can battle it out and get a decision loss and give Holmquist an opportunity to get 6 up at 65 against Strickenberger against Pace, that's a huge shift. It's it's a significant shift that can happen. So where it starts, how you wrestle, if you're the dominant individual, if you're the person who's supposed to win and adding points, and I think you're going to know pretty quickly. Did this person do what they were supposed to do? Or are we now chasing? Yep. And if we're chasing, we're not in a good position. So that's going to be key. for me.
I'm very proud of you for bringing up a nice young and up and coming kid like Mitz, who's been battling his way through the rankings and has found himself at 17 in a match like this. I think it's good for him, and I'm excited to see him up in the rankings and working hard there.
Well, and the truth is, you've got a lot of kids who are sitting somewhere in that middle pack of the rankings that, this is a fantastic opportunity, man.
Yeah,
This is a
there'll be some
fantastic
kids that'll
opportunity.
be moving up after this weekend because
Yeah, and there's some matches there. I mean, you got 5-14 and 17-2 and 8-5. Like those are all matches, 23-16. Like you said, if they come out, if it's a 3-point and not a 5-point, or if it's a 6, you know what I mean? Like if it's a pin and not a pin, I mean the difference is all crazy, right?
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to set the stage for Somerset Jensen Beach. Just so you know, Somerset leads the series at the state duels 3-1. They won in 2020 and 2024 and 2025. Jensen Beach beat them back in 2022 on one of their trips to the state title. Both teams are they're just awesome. They have so much history as far as state duels go. And if you look down the ranked versus ranked matchups, we are talking what? I think I count 9, 10 ranked versus ranked matchups. So it is absolutely historically great programs, awesome, awesome lineups, and this is going to be a fantastic duel. Daniel, let's start with you.
Can I rewind just for a second? Do we think
Sure.
Pace is beating Clay, or what was our
Oh,
outcome
my
there?
fault. My fault. Brant picked Pace.
I pick Pace.
Brant
Okay,
picked
so
Pace.
okay. Um,
I'm going to pick Pace as well.
Good. I just wanted to make sure we had the right pace here so we can move into Jensen Beach and Somerset.
Aha. Dad jokes.
Bad jokes. Yes, I think Somerset is going to win this. I think they're just too deep and too strong. Most of their weights are between number 1 and number 5 on the Cabra wrestling rankings. And where I think Jensen Beach is one of the best programs in our state. They're coached very well by, a wonderful coach. I just don't think that, I think they're still a little young. I mean, they have a heavyweight that's going to win his match. But I think the rest of the way through, I just don't see how they could win 7 matches and make it even close here, unfortunately. So
All right.
This is
not unfortunate.
This is a staging
Not
match for
not
Somerset.
unfortunately. I'm not saying unfortunately Somerset wins. I think unfortunately they're young right now. They just don't have the depth, I think, to be able to compete there. And I think Somerset, what Joe has down there right now is just
We're gonna
unbelievable.
learn. I'm most intrigued about this because we're gonna learn what Joe's gonna do this weekend, and it's gonna be set up in
Yeah.
this because we're gonna see some weigh-ins and we're gonna see guys at weights.
Right.
Somerset is a team that can win the 2A title, I believe, this weekend. They're one of 3 or 4 teams that could win it. This will be like where he starts the staging to see where everyone is going to be.
Right. And he is one of the
Jensen
absolute
Beach-
best at this, right?
Oh, he
I mean,
loves
he is-
this. He
one-
can tell you right now exactly what the score will probably be, and because he knows what he's going to do, and he'll be within 1 or 2 points on both sides of it. Jensen Beach is young. I agree with all things you said. I don't. They may not even have a full lineup. There might be some interesting matches here, but this one to me more so than any time they've met, I just feel like there is a difference between the two teams right now. And
I agree with
just on a different level right now.
Despite the history and
Despite
everything
yeah.
else, it is what it is. All right, so let's move to.
And as someone that's been down to do media days and has been around Jensen Beach, they got some little people coming.
Oh,
up.
it's bubbling under there.
It is bubbling
explode.
under there.
Yes.
They are going to. They got something special coming up.
Yes, they do.
Moving to the premier first round matchup in the building. I don't care what classification we are talking about. Potential state final, Tampa Jesuit and Lake Gibson. They have seen each other multiple times this year at different events, obviously. Gibson, just so you guys know, leads the series 4-2. If we were talking about post districts on this route, Gibson won in 19, 21, 22, and 24. Jesuit winning 20 and last year in 2025. Both teams have been here. Both teams have unbelievably great records. Both teams have won a state title, and both teams come in absolutely loaded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loaded.
This is the one, right? I mean,
This
They have had some fantastic matches
they
before,
have.
but starting with last year, especially in this year, neither side has holes. And some of those great matches, Tampa Jesuit was giving up 6-12 points because
Yes, they were.
maybe they weren't as deep on top.
But
Or
you
they,
got above the crooks, and next thing you
yeah.
know, who was in the lineup, right?
But there is neither one. Is there a hole in their
and did
lineup?
I see that Jesuit
Uh,
got their heavyweight back too, right?
yeah, he's been back. They're 215. Marvin Mendez has been back the last couple weeks. Anthony Rometta has wrestled the last couple of weeks at heavyweight. Um, so they're if both teams are healthy and everybody's there, both of them both of them are deep. Both of them have options, and you just know it's going to come down to something that you can't even predict. It's going to be a match you can't predict. Someone's going to get a win that you don't expect, or someone's going to stay off their back that you didn't expect, and that's going to be the difference here. And it's going to be insane, and you're going to have
Oh, that is a great look for
Rose.
you.
layers and
Yeah.
layers of kids behind them cheering on their team. It's going to be a state title atmosphere on Friday night.
I
You know,
agree.
there's certain times that I am in a gym and I feel like there's a matchup going on where they should just stop the entire gym and let all the kids watch. And this is one of them. I mean, it's just two powerhouses going at it, and it's going to be special. And it's so hard. I mean, I know that uh, to pick, it's just so difficult because you go through and it's like weight versus weight is so close, could go either way. And I'm excited for it. But yeah, this is one of those.
Well, now you
It,
have to pick it.
Well, my question before we pick it is, if you are given the choice to start at a weight, if you are Tampa Jesuit, where do you want to start the duel? And I don't know the answer. I'm going to throw out what I think is the answer. David Mason and Sal Basil might like completely go, no, I would never start there. Like, you're crazy. And that's okay. Or I would say the same thing about Danny Walker would tell me, no, I would not start there. But in my opinion, if I am Jesuit, I want to start at somewhere in the middle weights. I want to start at 38,
I was 38's the
44, right
number that
around
stood
there.
out to me. And get those early wins, get a
I
chance to
want to
get
get
Reed
those
out there,
wins.
Mason. And
And
If you're Lake Gibson, you want, I don't know, maybe 215.
yes, yes.
Maybe
If I'm like
190.
Gibson, I think I want to start with Chavis and I want to go to Callahan, who I think is going to get a win. And then I hit two super important matches in 6 and 13. But I could potentially still have Jesuit with a 0 on the board after 4 matches.
Yeah.
I think that
I
just
mean, after
creates
six,
something that's important.
you start at 215, you could have Lake Gibson win in the first 6 matches. And then you start getting to 32, 38, 44, and it's, you're pressing because you're chasing and
That's right.
you're
That's
trying to get bonus.
So
And
that's how I would do it if
yeah.
it were me. That if I were those two teams of getting a choice of where I wanted to start.
If they could choose, if they could choose a weight, that's where I would start.
well, I mean, I would start taking pictures from the right side of the mat, and then I would slide over to the left side of the mat, and then I would take pictures from there. And then as I adjusted my camera, because I don't know shit about that part of it. So I would,
All right, you know what you might know? We're gonna let you go first. Who wins, Daniel?
Lake Jesuit or Tampa Gibson?
yes, that's my thought. Exactly.
Brant, who wins?
I'm taking Lake Gibson. Um, there's just a tad of depth there. There is both teams have it, but there's a magic that they both seem to conjure up for state duels, and Jesuit got it last year, and I just feel like Gibson has been waiting 364 days for this shot, and they'll be ready.
I am taking Gibson as well, but I will tell you this. All you need to do is flip
One match.
one of those matches or two of those matches, and it goes 5-4 in favor of Lido over Phelan, or it goes 5-4 for, I don't know, Ethan Smith over Tyler White, or whatever the case is. I'm not going to call out the weight. I don't know what that will be. But all you need is just one of those matches to go in your favor, and Jesuit probably wins. But on paper, I will take Gibson as well.
Yes. And I can't wait to watch it. And kudos to both programs for always giving us something special to watch, because it makes the weekend.
I'm going to take it to be a great match, and we're going to see some fireworks, and I hope that they both come out. I wish they could come out as a tie.
I don't want to tie, but
No,
I do
I'm
wish.
just kidding.
You know what? And I'm going to say this: like, that could be your state final, but let's be honest. Like, we got Charlotte on the bottom, who will get probably get the semifinal winner, and you got Somerset up top. So it's not as if the state final is not going to be the two best teams, because I think those teams can battle with these two teams 100%.
Yes, I think if we're talking about the best Final Four of the weekend, it's going to be 2A.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of them won't be in the Final Four.
Right, but
one of them will be gone.
Because you're going to have, the 4 teams that make it to the Final Four. It's going to be awesome.
So let's talk Charlotte Braden River.
Yes.
Charlotte is another program that is unbelievably great.
And Braden River, their second straight year in the same spot.
Yep.
Charlotte, not as deep maybe as we've seen them, but then you look at their lineup and they're deep. Because I'm telling myself as I'm right. That's just from experience. I'm like, I'm working on my preview, and I'm like, oh yeah, Charlotte doesn't seem as deep this year. And then I go through their lineup, and I'm like, wait, they're deep. I think what will stand out here. I think some matches will be interesting. I think it's one of those things like, hey, if we're starting at 190, all of a sudden Braden River jumps out for because they've got some good guys at the top. Maybe they jump out, win the first 2 matches, and maybe there's some rhythm stuff here. But I think as a whole, I don't think there's enough for them to rally too much. And Charlotte has so many stopgaps that can always stop the bleeding. You're going to get.
That for me is
a great guy at 285. You've got Jake Austin in the middle. You've got Evan Cope. You've got Alexander Nassif at 106. You're not going to get rolling on Charlotte, and I think that would be the difference in this.
So
that's exciting. Jake Austin versus Jacob Fuentes. That should be fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you, Brent, in that. So I'm a big believer in momentum and duels, and having stoppers that stop the momentum and swing it back to you can play a huge role. And that's what Charlotte has. I don't care who they're going up against. I don't care if they're going against Jesuit or Gibson or Braden River or Somerset in the finals or whomever. They have kids. I don't know if they'll win the entire thing, but they definitely have kids that will put up points, and they can stop any team from getting on a roll. They can stop any team. All right. So we've got. Are you taking Charlotte?
I'm taking Charlotte.
Yes, okay. I'm taking Charlotte.
And I'm taking Lake Gibson to face Somerset in the final.
So you have Lake Gibson beating Charlotte, and you have Somerset beating
over
Pace.
Yes.
Okay. Daniel, how about you?
You have Somerset versus.
He has Somerset versus Gibson
in the finals. I'm going to take Pace and Charlotte.
I am going to take Somerset. I'm going to take Somerset and Gibson as well. It's I think it'll be really interesting by the time we get to that moment. Whoever gets through the bottom side, man, they might be a little banged up by the time they get there. So we'll see kind of what happens. All right, let's move to 3A.
And my pick's not
Top.
solid.
No, your picks are great,
It's
Daniel.
very Dan.
You do you, man. You
It's
do
very
you.
Dan Ward picks.
Uh, Daniel, we've got Flagler versus Flagler Palm Coast versus Haggerty up top. Each of these two teams have one win against one another in the dual series. Going back to again from when I start counting, both teams are regular members of being here. I think Flagler Palm Coast this is their second time at this level at Elite Eight, but both of the teams have gotten to lots of them. Um, what do you see, Daniel, in this matchup? You know these two teams.
Yes, I mean obviously Flagler's giving up points at 190. There's nobody in that spot, so they're going to be down in a deficit there. And then, uh, they're both pretty deep at the other weights. I just think Haggerty at the end is going to be too much, and they're going to pull it off.
Brant?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at some of the numbers, Flagler, this is their third region final. It's a
This
six.
is you have third. I had
Yeah.
second, but okay, yeah.
Based off my numbers, which I guess I need to go back and double check.
No. We'll do that later, but that's
This
cool.
is Haggerty's sixth.
Yeah.
Last year they finally got their first region final. Haggerty, remember, they won the Johnny Rouse earlier this year. That was filled with a lot of great teams in it. I think they are the team that might be the closest to South Dade, but Flagler will not be an easy out. And so I'm intrigued by this one. I'm intrigued by where this one will start, and I'm intrigued by what Flagler can do at some of the weights where they'll be favored and see how close they can keep this. I'm going to pick Haggerty, but I have a feeling it's going to be closer than maybe people may expect.
I agree. And again, I'm looking at it and I'm going, I'm a person who likes to put points on the board first. And if I'm Flagler, Daly at 13, Twilly at 32, McLean at 20. I know you're going to give up some points down there with Jesse at 44 and everything else, but Flagler's got a solid group there at the beginning. Not Hall is good at 6, but he's obviously probably going to be the underdog against Wolgemuth at 6. But if I can put some points on the board and get some momentum going, I do think that makes Haggerty try to chase a little bit up top.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think you're right. Haggerty is kind of leaning towards as being the team, and maybe the team that has the best shot to push your defending state champions.
And
Who we
you
go
guys
to
tell
next.
you guys.
But let me tell you on this one, the 285, I am so intrigued by. 285 in 3A has become one of the real big question marks.
Coin flip.
I mean, there's just so much going. You had. I'm just looking at it really quick. You have Renzo Cooligan for Haggerty, who has does not have a win against any of the top guys in 3A, but he's got wins against top guys in other. You have Aiden Korth, who has wrestled really tight against Godbolt from Buchholz, wrestled him to 1-0 when they met in their district journey. This will be a match that I want to see for each of them to kind of try. I'm trying to figure out who the best wrestler is in 3A 285. I don't know it right now. This will go.
Well, and it might depend upon the day.
It might.
Well,
I mean, because
I would
beat Godbolt
default.
this past weekend. So
I would default to you guys in a duel like this that you look down and you've got ranked wrestlers at all these weights going against each other. That close, doesn't it? The blank spot at 190 affect Flagler Palm Coast?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's 6 points, dude.
Yeah,
it's huge.
So all things equal, that's going to really
in a duel
difficult to overcome that.
Oh, it at this point in time, if they don't have somebody at 90 and they've gotten to this level, the rest of the lineup is stout.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't win you don't win with holes at this level. That just doesn't happen. So
Now
Which is,
you could see in this though with having and I don't actually have Flagler Palm Coast is one of the few schools that did not get back in touch with me and confirm a lineup. But if you have a lead in at 75, you can bump him up to 90, and let's say you have a different body that you can put in at 75. I don't know this would be a factor or not, but Haggerty is weaker at 75 than 90. So you can work ways around it. Like if you're going to put out someone sacrificial, maybe you try to do that at 75 where it's not a definite pin for Haggerty, and then you put your top guy out of those weights. Those kind
or
of
if you're
movement.
looking to trade 6 and 6, I mean, you
Or
might
you
be
do
looking to
that.
do
Or you
that. I
can
mean,
do
it
that
really
also.
depends on
Good.
What you think you can do
situation
with it. Yeah.
needs.
got it. Okay, here's a real. This is going to be you're taking South Dade in this one?
Well, Daniel, since we didn't give you your flowers last weekend, we should do that this weekend in that you're the person who picked South Dade to emerge. And you know what? They did, and they
To
did
Thank you.
emphatically,
to
baby.
be fair, he
Oh,
did pick them, but at least me. I don't know if I said if South Dade had a full lineup, all bets are off.
I agree. No,
And
I
then
think we all said
we
that.
all had that
But
caveat, but
the truth is, we hadn't seen a full
we
South
hadn't seen
Dade
a full lineup
squad.
yet. We hadn't, and
Right.
we knew that they hadn't had a full lineup yet.
We
I
hadn't seen them.
And this
yes,
South Dade lineup still is not as like a South Dade lineup of years past. I mean, it's not a slam dunk for this weekend for them, but when they are full like they were, and they are able to go through the district that they went through, and then the regions that they went through, um, it's a good lineup.
so when you say not a slam dunk this weekend, you have some teams pushing them.
I think I think it's more than a coronation this weekend, like it has been
Yeah.
in past years.
Look,
Well, and to be
in
fair,
this,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Daniel.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Coronation. I mean, this is a team that's 41-1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the history of the state rules. I mean, it
Is
really
that
has been in years past just an ability to roll. I mean, they
Have
just
to
were
make their
so
own
much
challenge.
better.
They've had to make their own challenges in years past, and I think they're the heavy favorites again. Now that we've seen what they can do when they are on full speed and full power, but I don't think they'll have to be as creative to find a challenge. I think they'll need to step up.
I mean,
But this
the
team showed how
one,
good it can be after maybe some of us thought there was some weaknesses there because we saw them not win the Johnny Rouse. We saw them finish, for them mid-tier in some of these tournaments because they weren't full and loaded, and in some of these IBTs where you would expect South Day at the top, and
We just didn't know.
they weren't there, but we just had no idea. But
yeah.
this team now, the roster they're bringing, the 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 weights they've been able to put guys at, this is a South Day team that you should expect to
So
compete for the title.
South Dade is. I don't think there's any doubt that the three of us think they're going to win. But I want to go ahead and give a shout out. Gillen's down at 6.
Yes.
Jenkins at 13. South Plantation has
Lincoln Derby
good
at
wrestlers.
20 is
good. I was going to say I'm excited to watch Jenkins and Morales wrestle. I think those two kids are awesome. They're fun. They're exciting.
They are. Yeah.
And for a matchup like this, I think that's going to be an exciting match to watch.
there's 4 weight classes that South Plantation goes into this weekend, assuming they match up as a favorite.
Yeah.
I mean that's something in itself. I mean
that's right. That is right. And in years past, there are teams that hadn't scored 12 to 15
South Day
points
didn't give up 4
at all.
losses on the weekend.
That's right.
And South Plantation, if weights line up, they're at least the favorite in 4 weights going into
And
Friday.
no, shout out to I think obviously, Duck and Baby Duck and Ozzy and the team over there have been doing obviously
Baby
taking
Duck?
over. Yeah,
You're calling Bradley Baby Duck?
yeah, that's Baby Duck.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know.
There,
I didn't
there you
know.
go.
I didn't know.
there you
Sorry,
go.
Bradley.
And I think they're doing
I'm asking this weekend.
they're doing a
You
great
okay being
job
called
of
Baby Duck?
yeah, so putting the pieces back together throughout the
Yeah.
year as people came back sick and healthy. But I got to say, and I've talked to coaches around, um, what what Lex has done with South Plantation since taking over it and putting them back and building them back up. He's done a fantastic job. I
Absolutely.
mean,
I
that
agree.
program, he has really built it into something special. And to be on this stage against
Yeah.
the best
I'll
is
tell you
just a
what,
credit to what he's doing down there.
if there were a consolation bracket, that would be a team I'd be really
Yep.
interested to
I wouldn't
see
want to
how
face.
they come back through against some of the other teams because you just draw South Dade first. I mean, that's just the way that works. But I guarantee you that's a team that can go out and battle with lots and lots of teams that are in 3A right now.
Yeah.
All right,
I got
Palm
a
Harbor
question.
and Venice.
So you've got 8 teams here, right? In 3A.
Hmm.
If we threw Southwest Miami into this mix, where do they end up? I mean, it's
I
crazy.
mean,
Didn't
if it's seeded second or third,
right?
Right.
I think
If they
Haggerty
come
Because
in
may be a
seeded.
tad better than them. I think I say, how about this? How about if you throw Columbus into this mix? Because Columbus gave South Day just as much of a
Yes, they
battle as
did.
Southwest Miami did.
Yes, they did.
I
And you
mean,
throw Columbus in
that's
this. What?
how.
Hey, when let's throw Southridge in also. Let's bring all four of them up here.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, four
how
of your
cool
top
would that
five are
be?
those teams with Haggerty in the
Yeah,
mix, I
it's
think.
crazy what goes on down there.
All
Um,
right. Let's
with that
go
being
actually,
said, so
let's
you
go
guys
to
are
two teams.
so you guys are taking South Dade, I'm guessing.
I think so,
Yes.
yeah. Palm Harbor versus Venice. I actually these two teams have actually wrestled extremely well this year.
Mhm.
Extremely well. Every single time I've turned around, Palm Harbor has either been winning a tournament, has been in the hunt for a tournament. Venice has battled. They've wrestled really, really well this year. Um, this is an underrated top quality duel, in my opinion.
Yes. And Palm Harbor has been doing that, not at full strength.
Right.
And they get one guy back this week. Maybe they get another one back who's been off and on. I mean, they are a deep team, and they're planning to stick around to Saturday.
Daniel?
Yes, I agree. I think which Jeff Hartley do we get? Do we get the one that was a ranked wrestler once upon a time and he comes in and wrestles like he used to? Or which one do we get? I think that's a big thing there at 13. Um, but yeah, Palm Harbor's been little by little just beating everybody that's been thrown
They're
in front of
tough,
them. And
man.
they've
I've
been
been very
working their way
impressed with
through
them.
it and they've been doing a great job. And it's going to be, they're not going to be an easy out for anybody. Venice, just lining them straight up. I just, Palm Harbor looks a bit deeper. And then with nobody at 215 costing Venice 6 points, I just think when it comes down to it, that's going to be too much, and Palm Harbor advances, in my
I would
opinion.
I would take Palm Harbor as well.
Yes.
I just think it'll be a good duel.
Right.
All right, and then down last, our last first round matchup, Freedom versus Wellington. Again, Wellington has been here a ton. They know,
They're finalists last year.
yeah, they know how to win. They've competed against some really great teams all over the place. I'll tell you what, Freedom has looked good. They have
And
Real.
looked
and
good.
This is
they
another one of those duels when you guys were talking about what are duels to watch. I mean, this one is one to
yeah.
watch.
Matchups are interesting in this. They some strengths against weakness tend to line up on both sides.
Yep.
Not a lot match up head on. Freedom though, I mean, they've been wrestling well, and it's become a destination spot. The Shalabi brothers are there. They started wrestling in the past week or two. There, I think, is when they started wrestling for Freedom, and those are two guys that can win matches for you. Jordan Martin has come back this year at 285. He's wrestling really well. Christopher Aubane at 90. Ismail Robles has had a great season at 38. And I mean, you already know what you're getting with Kingsley Mincer, who's just been getting better and better every week and putting in the time in the offseason. Wellington has some guys, and they match up. That like it's a weird matchup between these two teams, and so it may come down to what happens at like 32, where there's no ranked guy for either team, and whoever wins that kind of match ends up being the difference in this one.
Yeah, I mean,
just how it
like
plays out.
can Ehab go into Mac Andrews and keep himself from costing the team 6 points, right? Can he fight him, or not fight him, but can he wrestle him,
Yep.
keep him off him, and kind of not get teched or pinned there, right? Which would be huge
If
against
they're at the same weight.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know that
according
you'll
to
end up
this,
seeing
they're
it.
at the same weight, but they might move each other, right? But that's a matchup with Ehab. He's long, he's tough, he's experienced. He's going to know how to kind of try to control a match without costing him. But Mac Andrews is a Mac truck, right? I mean, this guy comes in and he comes in strong. He doesn't stop. And so little things like that, I'm guessing, is where you guys would say things could be won or lost, right? Just
So who
difference
do
of
you got, Daniel? Weldon?
I,
Freeton?
I, I like how well Freedom and Wellington and the Free Wellington is going. That's good. Um, wow, it's a tough one.
Brant?
I'm picking Freedom.
I'm
I'm
taking
There's
Freedom
leaning.
as
just
well.
a little
Yeah,
bit of
I'm
depth, a little too much
definitely
depth.
leaning. I am
And
definitely leaning towards Freedom based on what I see here. Um, yeah, I think I would lean toward Freedom. However, like anything else,
So if that
yes, let's
happens,
talk this next round.
Freedom and Palm
It's
Harbor
so intriguing.
have neither one have ever been to the finals before.
Yes.
And that
Well,
matchup,
Freedom has never been to region finals until this year.
that is correct. So how do you see that playing out there, Brant?
I've actually broken this down in my head a few times, and I feel Freedom has just a tad better, maybe at a couple spots. I think the difference comes down to Jordan Martin and Christopher Aubane and Magnum Cologne and those kind of spots. And there's matches that Palm Harbor can win, and there's matches Freedom can win. I think Freedom maybe wins them a little bit more bonusy, but it comes
Mm.
down to like it's you're going to be counting points on little pieces of paper to fit everybody in because it's going to be that close.
I think I'm going Freedom versus South Dade.
I am going Palm Harbor versus South Dade.
Okay.
And I want to go ahead and mention that we did not talk about Haggerty versus South Dade, and I think South Dade is definitely the team. But
Yeah.
if there is a team in the field that I think can push South Dade that is here this weekend, I believe Haggerty is that team. I don't think they're going to beat them, but I think that they're the team that can push them.
The matchups are very well at some spots for Haggerty, but they need to win all of those.
I know.
And then
I
you
know.
need to win one or two that you're not supposed to.
All right,
Yeah.
gentlemen, we have our
Yeah.
three finals. Let's start in 3A since we were just there. You guys have South Dade and Freedom. I have South Dade and Palm Harbor. I am going to go out on a limb and say South Dade as being the champions this weekend.
Way
Your
to go out
picks?
on a limb there.
I assume you're both South Dade?
State dual title number 8 for South Dade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump up to 2A, where I think most of us, I don't know if Daniel actually picked, but we had Lake Gibson versus Somerset. Brant?
I'm gonna say Lake Gibson, but
Okay.
it's starting weight in coin toss. I'm just guessing. I'm gonna just say that rolls in their favor, and just a couple of the weights where they just have a little bit more.
So I'm going to say this. I think it's Lake Gibson as well if they're in the finals.
Okay,
But that's a huge if.
that is a big if.
That is a huge if because I feel very confident that Somerset will be in the finals up top.
Yes,
I have I have way less confidence
Like
because of the
100% wine, and the
route.
other's 51-49.
The road to the finals on the bottom side is just super hard. It just really is. I'm going to take Gibson, but man, I wouldn't be surprised. Daniel,
Uh,
you want to take a shot at that one?
yeah, I'm going to take Charlotte to beat Pace. I don't know. So, so, so you guys, so you guys are saying based on if Lake Gibson versus Somerset are in the finals, who are we taking? Correct?
Well,
Yes,
that's what we
that's what we
picked
picked.
because we've actually been making picks.
Oh, I've been making some of them. Okay, you know what? Hmm.
Who you got? Nobody's going to hate you. They
I've
already hate
got.
you.
They already do. You know what? I'm going to take Tampa Jesuit
There you go.
to beat Somerset in the finals.
All right.
I don't think
That's not a bad
that
pick.
is a great pick.
I'm
Honestly.
going to go. I'm going to go against the grain here. You guys are all going the opposite direction. Um, so why not go against the grain? And this way, it makes it a little more fun. And I'll take Tampa Jesuit to beat
Well, and you
Somerset in
know
the
what?
finals.
They are probably happy because last week or 2 weeks ago, Brant took Southridge and I took Southwest, and you picked South Dade,
No,
and
you were
you
right.
ended up being right. So
Right. So
maybe they're all like, we're gonna go with Daniel.
yeah. So let me do that. Let me go against there. And
All right,
I think that I think that I'm leaning towards there. Okay. So that's 2A, right?
and Brant Matter Lakes
Matter
are
Lakes.
going to be the
They're
repeat.
Matter Lakes will repeat.
Okay.
Just too many. Just no holes. Just no spots
I agree.
to really do a lot of damage to them.
I agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Cocoa Beach is a fantastic squad. I think St. John Newman is a fantastic squad. I like Wakulla. I like lots of the teams in 1A, but I just think that they're head and shoulders above most of the other teams.
Yep.
I personally, I'd love to see them in the 2A bracket and throw South Dade in there and let's see what it all
Yeah,
goes.
that we'd really have.
Excuse me. On January 29th in South Florida, there will be a duel, Mater Lakes versus South Dade. Tune in. You will see it.
All right.
Is it going to be streamed on Instagram again? By the way, thanks, JD. We appreciate it. I watched Cardinal Gibbons versus Matter Lakes on Instagram. It was awesome.
Yep.
Yes, I watched some of it too.
Yep. So that
And I
is
was catching
coming.
you up. You're asking all these questions, and I'm going
And
to
that
answer
is
them.
the day. That is the day before the Colby Covington, where I believe both teams do go over there.
The Colby Covington?
I mean the Colby Singletary. Colby Covington is the fighter. The Colby Singletary. So yes, so that is a duel that I put on my calendar so that I could see if that's something that I can make it to, because that seems like it'll be fun. But I agree with you. I think Mater Lakes is healthy right now. They're coming in with everybody being able to wrestle. With that being said, I do think they're going to be a little too much for Cocoa Beach right now at this point of the season.
So one of the things that I like to end with whenever I do make predictions is I love a good Yogi Berra quote. So Yogi Berra said, "It's tough to make predictions, especially about the future." All right. And I think that that's super true here. There are so many things that can happen this weekend. I think we have a tendency to lean on the things we kind of know, and that kind of helps us, make those decisions and everything else. But the truth of the matter is, there are so many teams in the building that are talented, that are going to wrestle their butts off. They're going to wrestle great, and so on and so forth. I wish them all the best of luck. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great weekend to watch some wrestling.
The one thing I can be assured my prediction of, it's going to be fun.
No doubt. No doubt.
Excited to get over there and see that one. It's going to be the duels. It's just the energy is different at the duels than it is when you're at like the IBT or wherever. I mean, the energy is obviously big there too, but it's pretty cool to see the teammates cheering and jumping off the bench and the kids coaching the kids and just everything that goes on in
Yep.
that.
it is great. It is great atmosphere.
Yeah.
It is just it's
Yeah.
unbelievably great. So
I don't, last week we ended up not doing a show. And for the 2.5 people that have made it this long in this show, um, last, last week, the RAF was down here. That was fun. We got a
yep.
lot of, shout out to Florida for showing up. It was the largest gate of RAF so far of the first 5. So that's a shout out to Florida. We got to see some good stuff there. The cradle happened with some unbelievable quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. And I drove up to Life U and got to see the
Life
top
versus
NAIA team versus
right.
the top NCAA team with Life. And shout out to Life for putting on that event. It was really, really good. They did a great job. A lot of people in the gym.
Who won? Who won?
And it was North Central won. I think it was 28-13.
Okay.
But there were some really good matchups. There's there's girls on both sides that are world team members and national champions, and just the job that those two programs are doing with their girls is absolutely unbelievable. So it was fun to get to experience that. So shout out to those
Well,
two
and
programs.
and honestly, I mean, it's not it's those programs, but it's also we love it. I mean, like there's so many um former Southeast wrestlers that are competing at on those teams and different levels and everything else, and it's fun to watch them leave high school and go and compete at another level. It's fun to watch them and watch continue to kind of cheer them on and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, in the week before at the national duels, you saw Florida girls at McKendree. You saw Florida girls at Iowa. You saw
Yeah.
Florida girls at Presbyterian. You saw Florida girls at Life and Grandview, and you can continue to go
Well,
through
and
all
on
of
the
that.
boys side, you saw Max Brady compete for Northern Iowa, and you saw, you
And
know,
Basil, I mean, yeah,
yeah,
and Basil for Northern Iowa's back. He's been healthy. God, knock on wood. He's having a great one. And you saw Chippy on the Life U side, Christian Guzman, and oh, my son got to wrestle at the duels.
North
That was
Central
great.
side, North Central
North
side,
Central
yeah,
side, yep.
yeah.
He got to wrestle one of the duels, and that was awesome. Just to, I don't know, it's kind of cool to see him get to experience that. I don't. You've never seen me kind of blowing up the kids and stuff like that, but it was kind of cool to see my son get to go to that event and be in the dome and get to see all the amazing wrestling. And he was there for North Central's big win in the semis and big win in the finals. So on the girls' side, so just he said it was really, really cool to be in the dome and see such good wrestling. Plus, he saw a bunch of his friends from high school, and what a cool event that
No
must be.
doubt, no doubt.
Especially if you love duels like Brand, you'd be like in a candy store watching that one.
They are my favorite.
But
All right,
so
guys.
Yep.
Best of luck this weekend. Enjoy it. I'll tell you what, I won't be in Florida, but please go up and tell Daniel and Brant what they got wrong. You can even tell them what I got wrong. That'd be great.
oh,
And honestly, if we don't get many comments in the comment section, but if you disagree, I'm always up for like hearing what other people think. So,
not we don't get many positive comments there. If they if they comment, it's typically not to say, "Oh, hi, great job, guys." It's to let
um,
us know what we
I
got
will
wrong.
be dropping a state duels preview. Brant, are you doing a state duels preview?
Yeah, I am. It's getting there.
All
A
right.
little bit behind, but it'll be up tomorrow
Stickers,
morning.
And Daniel has a sticker.
stickers. Check these out. Coming to a tournament near you.
All right,
All
guys.
right,
I'm
guys.
out of here.
Yeah.
Peace.